A lot of men have this fantasy that they're going to move out in the woods and chop wood, and it's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
especially a lot of guys want to move out in the woods and they chop wood, but what are you going to do out there?
Yeah.
Once you're done chopping wood and looking at a couple sunsets, men need to be around other men to become better, which is a big theme in the way of men. And so, okay, well, who's going to push you? Who's going to be around you? Who are you going to compete with? You're just going to stare at the sun and chop wood. You're not going to get better. I mean, even Henry Thoreau, I think, only lived in the woods for like 2 years. It's so. Yeah, when you move out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, you're not growing a lot. And so, I lived in the country for a little bit, but I'm at a point in my life where I want to keep growing and challenging myself and meeting people who can are moving up in the world, and so I can move up too and be around them. And so I need that. As much as it sounds cool to like, oh, I'm just going to go out in the mountains and like live by myself. I want to be around a place where, okay, well, there has to be somewhere. Where can I train jiu-jitsu? I actually picked the place I live right now because it was close to the gym that I wanted to train at. I mean, that's exactly what I was looking for, because a lot of men have, they don't have a lot of areas that they can make friends with other men in adult life. They make friends at work and through their family or their spouse or whatever. But it's difficult because a really good male friendship takes a long time. There's a lot of trust that has to be built. My best friend that I've had for many years, I talk to him once every 3 or 4 months, but we worked for 9 hours a day together in a truck for years. So like we know each other. And that kind of male friendship is like that. And so it takes a long time to build that up. And jiu-jitsu is one of those good ways. A guy differently when he's tried to strangle you than if you just have had a polite conversation. Something different about him. And so because I'm self-employed, I don't have to go and talk to anybody. So I picked a place near a jiu-jitsu gym, so I'm going to go and interact with those guys, and I'll have that interaction. Because otherwise, I'm just talking to supermarket tellers and so forth. So I think so being around other men is really important.
How do you pick the men that you choose to associate with and build those sort of deeper relationships and really make friends? It seems this is a problem, that there are more and more men who maybe they grew up without a brother, and so some big phase in life comes and they don't really have a good friend or a brother or somebody to lean on.
Yeah, I mean, or a lot of times what guys will do is try to maintain the high school friendships. Or like college friendships. And those people might want to stay the same. They might live in the same place and never move, and which is not bad, because there are a lot of people who are just are happy and they live in the same place. But you need to make sure that they have the same values and are going in the same direction. And so a lot of people will have these old friendships that are just people who kind of want them to stay who they were in high school. And that's always bad. You should never, if you're still the guy who you were in high school, you're messing up. Like that's a bad thing. So you want to make sure you're looking at people who are challenging you. I mean, I was even I would say a state where I was pretty satisfied. I'm like, oh, I've done pretty well. I've written some books, they're pretty successful. And then you start hanging with guys that are like, oh, well, I have a multi-million-dollar company. And I'm like, oh, well, all right. Like, oh, I guess you all have empires. I'm the only one in the room without an empire. I guess I should work on that. So it's good to constantly be seeking out those friendships of people who are better than you at different things and who are inspiring you, and also have an energy to them. They're excited about something. Because a lot of guys just get in this kind of like humdrum kind of like way of going through life, and it's really important to be around guys with a lot of energy. Like when I was getting ready for the show here, I got a text from actually Kasky, this rapper that I interviewed, and he just reached out to me because he liked my work. And man, that guy has so much energy. Like I interviewed him, and it was like he was struck by lightning. And he was like, "I am a spear," and it's just a really anytime you can be around that kind of infectious energy, that's really going to be great for you.
He said, "I am a spear."
Yeah, I am a spear. He's, I'm a spear. You know, like, because he was about to go on tour and he was like, getting all pumped up for it.
Okay.
And he was great. He has so much great energy.
That's
and
fun.
So yeah, time you can be around someone like that, you're going to be in a better place.
Yeah, what a cool image. Rappers are interesting because they have this verbal fluency that few people have, and like that was a phrase that we used to use in the military. We talk about being the tip of the spear if you're an infantryman or something like that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you're prioritizing the jiu-jitsu gym as the place to do that. You're a man of many skills. In our last discussion, I remember just listing off so many skills that you have and things that you've done along the way. How do you pick where to put your energy now to focus on something like jiu-jitsu?
Well, it's really hard. I mean, I've been training with a bodybuilding coach for the past few months.
Yeah.
So that's not, I spent a lot of time in the gym, many gyms. But yeah, you want to have balance. I mean, you can either give your whole life to this one thing and have that be your identity, which is not wrong, because all the people who are really successful at anything have done that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be a professional bodybuilder, you're going to make a lot of sacrifices and you're going to live a weird life and eat really boring food. But you know, you're probably going to like put some health risks on yourself by doing that. But you know, that's how you get to the top of the mountain. And the same thing with whether, you know, you're a guy who goes in like special forces or something. I'm like, well, there's a big risk involved in that, but you get the payoff of doing that thing. If you're, you know, any successful person in life, you know, extreme lifters, extreme athletes, you know, they've given themselves this whole thing. And you know, you can do that, or you can be more of a generalist. I tend to be a little bit more of a generalist, so like you know, enjoy all aspects of things, and then I can talk about a lot of different things and write about a lot of different things. So you know, I have a pretty good idea what bodybuilders do. I've just been trained by them for, you know, months and months and months. And you know, I know a little bit about jiu-jitsu. I'm not like world-class jiu-jitsu by any means. I'm like a blue belt. But you know, I have that experience, and you know, I did boxing for a while and collect that experience. So I can collect these different experiences and learn things from them. And so it's just a matter of like, well, what do I want to do right now and kind of focus on? You know, it's like I'm always going to go to the gym, but like now I'll probably shift gears and do a little bit more jiu-jitsu for a while. And then you know, and also your body kind of tells you what you can do as well. Like, oh, my elbow is hurt. I need to stop doing that. So I guess I'm going to do this other thing.
Yeah. Thanks for watching that video. To see the full episode, check out the box over here or the link in the description.